Peace and blessings and namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and I am continuing warrior goddess training today, but we are going to focus on seeing and sight. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this part too. We're going to start off with a little bit of a demonstration. First of all, this belongs to my silk robe, and I'm getting ready to ruin it to show y'all. It's okay. It's material things. Hold on. All right. Watch. The blind warrior, the blind swordsman, very, very popular. This swordsman supposedly had a handicap because he could not see, yet he was able to easily defeat any of his enemies. Why? Very simply, when one of the senses is blocked, the mind overcompensates by heightening the other senses around you so that you still have the ability to function when necessary. Okay? Have you ever tried to walk around your house and feel your way around with your eyes closed? It's difficult the very first time that you do it. But if you have muscle memory of everything that is in your house, you start to get a feel of what to avoid, and you don't bump into things as easily anymore. The way of the blind swordsman, and the reason that he was able to defeat his enemies is because when he became blind, his other senses heightened. It lets you know that this universe is mental, okay? When we tune in, we can still hear air displacement when it goes past, all right? You can still feel energy around you, electric, mental. Some of the lessons of Shiva is to know how to see without seeing. Your mind is a very, very powerful tool when it is tapped in to its highest consciousness and the divine, because you recognize that consciousness is self-existing. When we are in this body here, we are using the senses that comes along with the physical matter. But is it absolutely necessary? Hi, Master Shiva. Mahadev is what some refer to him as. Mahadev sits in long, long meditations with his eyes closed and the third eye open. And while he is in this meditation, his consciousness reaches out. This is where he is doing his creating. This is where he is doing his observations. And this is when he is formulating judgments of a matter or of a situation. We have the ability to do the exact same thing. We just have to know that we can do this. And the only way for us to get to these higher levels and have the ability to tap into this is when we are fully connected with our source energy and our higher selves. How does it feel to know or to have the ability to navigate an entire realm blind? How would that make you feel? Will you be nervous? Are you afraid? There's different ways that we see that the eyes cannot. When we are doing visualizations and we're in a mental realm, everything starts to take place right here. Some of you who are clairvoyant can see into the spiritual realm the same way that you can see this. You don't have to have the third eye open. 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and sometimes you can see it manifest. Okay? Typically happening in the twilight. You'll be able to cross over and see into the veil. But for those of you who do not do that, you can still see it here. When the other senses are closed off, what is left is the mind, and the mind's ability to try to reason and make sense out of its surroundings. So everything starts to take place and heighten with you. You're not as handicapped as you think you are. You just have to know how to see. Inspiration, motivation, all of it takes place in the mental realm. Yeah, it's the frequency. And when you're tapped into a higher frequency, you can start to see in the ethers. You also have the ability to astral travel. When you see into the ethers, don't be too caught up on exactly what it is that you're seeing. So sometimes images play out, and images play out in codes. There are certain things on your individual walks that you have signed up for on your own and have to self-discover and can't be helped. But clues will be given to you, breadcrumbs along the way for you to follow. If the divine was to give you all of the answers in every single decision that you made, you don't grow and you don't develop. So we have to visualize it. We have to use our other senses. We have to use this sight to get things done. Okay. Images that can manifest. Symbols that can manifest. You can create in your mind space a space to meet with the divine. You just have to know how to get past this energetic field. When you get past the energetic field, the whole universe opens up for you. It wakes up for you. But how do we get past the energetic field? Our energy, our frequency, our vibration, our mental thoughts, our spirits has the ability to penetrate through the electromagnetic field of this earth and go outwards and expansion. How will you see? It depends on you. The very first time I sat into a meditation in my meditation room in my home, I was playing around with some herbs, okay, trying to figure out what type of oils that I could possibly make as anointing oils. Before I knew it, I came into the presence of the mighty Tahuti. I don't know how I got there. But when I got there, he was standing in front of me. He's huge. I was all starstruck. I read about these beings. I read about them. I didn't think that I would have the opportunity to actually meet them. And I was starstruck and in awe. And I was very, very humble. And I presented to him my little weird oil that I created. And he looked at it. I'm not going to exactly tell you what he said, but I'll tell you what the feeling was. The feeling was, what am I supposed to do with this? I said, I don't know. I need your help. I want your wisdom. Can you help me while I'm here on this planet? He said, I can, but first you have to ask yourself a question. And I said, what? He said, how did you get here? I didn't know. That was a layered question. Hindsight taught me this. The question wasn't, how did I transition from my state of meditation to be in his presence? But the question behind it was, how did you find yourself deserving to stand before me? Who are you? And that's what started taking me on my journey, because I needed to know, how did I get there? And why was it easy for me to transition there? After I got past the starstruck and the bowing, because I respect my elders. I respect the Elohim. I respect those who have come and walked before me. I'm just here to pick up where they left off. We're just here to keep it going, to keep building something better and better and better and better and better. But we take the knowledge that they left behind as the foundation, you see. I got starstruck because I didn't realize that this was a family member of mine. But when I saw him here. Some of you can create spaces. We have to be careful in our imaginations and what thoughts we put out there, especially when you are tapped into the divine. Understand that your thoughts can manifest. I was thinking about Tahuti because he's so knowledgeable. I admire him amongst others, okay? I do. So when I stood before him and when he showed up, I was in my meditation room, but I wasn't in my meditation room. When you learn to see without seeing, that's when you really start to know that this physical body is simply a suit. Take away the eyes, take away the ears, take away the speech, and you still have consciousness and the ability to communicate. I talked to him telepathically. I never opened up my mouth. He sent me on a quest of self-discovery to figure out how I was able to just get into his presence that easily with something this silly. And it was silly. It was silly. But I was in a learning curve. I was trying to fit in with what others were doing. I never was supposed to fit in. See, our sight helps navigate our path. And we can help create this path when we are in right alignment. When you void yourself of the ability to see, clairsentience kick in too. The body starts to serve as a barometer for you. The ears can hear air, wind, displacement, and you have the ability to tune in. Clairaudience heightens. Clairvoyance heightens. Clairsentience heightens. There are certain energies that might enter into your energetic field. If you can't see them, can you feel them? There are certain energies that when they enter into my energetic field or my surroundings, depending on where I feel them in my chakras, give me the understanding on not only what level they are on, but what they're here to assist with. Some energies come In my heart, I feel it. It feels like fire. Some entities come and it affects my throat. My jaw might lock. That means there's a blockage here, and it's something that I'm keeping myself or preventing myself from speaking. Some entities come and my ears burn. Some affects my sacral. Some affects my solar plexus. Some affects my root. It just depends. We have to start learning how to go beyond the physical senses, the physical sights. Practice in your meditation room being blindfolded. Practice in your home being blindfolded. Take a trip around your house one day. Then take a break. Come back 2 days later, blindfold, walk around your house again. Does it start to become more familiar to you? Do you start to have the ability to visualize and see everything in your house without opening your eyes? Then you understand that the mind and its memory and its ability to comprehend and process its surrounding does not need the senses. When we are in spiritual warfare, this is the area that we want to start operating from. The consciousness, the heart, the throat, the mind. This is the easy path. The harder path is when things are not directly laid out for you in sight, but divine knowing kicks in. Learn to see without seeing. Let the mind process its surroundings. I know where things are on my table. Do you? I am Sophie. I love you all.